Hey guys, it's Owen from V3 Racing again. Today's hot lap tutorial video with setup will be at Lime Rock Park in the Lamborghini GT3 Evo. There will be the first part of the video, which will be me talking over a lap, talking about lines, braking points, general reference points on the track and all stuff like that. And then at the end we will have a on-lap video, no talking, just the on-lap itself. Right, so we come onto the lap now. So into the braking zone. We're getting hard onto the brakes, braking at around the 200 marker just on the left, using about 75% brake pedal. You can use a lot of the ABS around here because the front tyre wear isn't really that bad. So then going into the apex, we're bleeding off the brake right as we get up to the curb. And with the curbs around here in the Lamborghini, there's two phases to these curbs. So there is the top section, and then there's this little bit here which is a bit of like an angled part of the curb. With the Lamborghini, you can ride this bit any more than that, and the car will sort of bounce around and it will force you to understeer and run wide. So as you can see, we are well at the apex now, still trailing the brake on a little bit. We get back on the throttle just to kick the car wider out of the corner here. And then we get back on the throttle again, just to hook it back around, carry over speed, wait for it to kind of bite, and as soon as we get towards the exit of this curb on the right, and here again, just using that little angled part of the curb, we accelerate out, using all the width of the track, and then into here. You don't want to be too far onto the right here. If you're too far to the right and you start braking, because I think of how this turn is slightly banked, you will have a lot of issues with the rear end stability of the car. So we brake. You sort of brake as soon as you get past these markers on the floor. So you start to brake no more than, I'd say, 40%. Because otherwise, like I said before, you'll have these rear end stability issues. And we're following the white line all the way around this corner to really try and keep the car tucked in. So as soon as we get just sort of towards middle endish part of the curve, we're stepping on the throttle a bit, not too much, because for this corner here, we want to keep it all the way to the left as much as possible, like that. Otherwise, you will be compromising your exit out of the next corner. So no need to brake here, just a lift of the throttle right as you turn. Again, getting right up to this curb, but not getting on top of it, just kissing the angled sloped part of the curb. As soon as you get towards the exit, you can get back on the power again, use all the curb on exit, then running up to this corner here, which is quite tricky. So generally I'm aiming to go on the curb and I start lifting just a bit of the brake pedal on the way through. Bleed it all the way so I get to the start of the curb. Again, when it comes to the curb usage here, no more than just touching the curb. Any more than that and you'll be bouncing around off the exit and you'll risk going into the wall off the top of the hill. So we're on full throttle up to the curb. We're aiming to be about as straight as possible, because if you go over this hill at a weird angle, you'll see that the front of the car lifts up. And when it does this, you obviously can't turn at all. So turning, make sure you're roughly straight. If you see this sign in the background and you're in line to the right of it, you're probably not going to go on the grass. We land here, look, just facing the right way, following the white line. And then this is a very tricky corner. There's not a lot of solid braking points for this one. So what I'm using, and it's quite difficult to use, is this tree. Just on the far right, if you can see it or not, right behind the wiper blade on the inside. As soon as that goes behind the screen, just hang on a minute, just there, you can see I just get off the throttle a tiny bit the brakes, 20-30%, just to get the car to rotate in. And you see I use a tiny bit too much curb, but the bounce wasn't too much bad. And this curb's a lot worse because of the really aggressive angle that this curb goes at compared to the other ones. You see, as soon as I even touch the angled bit on the curb there, the car still wants to jump up in the air. But still, I'm a bit later on the throttle because of this. I'm a bit more careful with the application. I just make the corner exit. And you can use a bit of the grass here, no more than this. You can use this bit of grass, it's not too dangerous. Because when you normally come onto this grass, you're in a straight line like this already. You're not leaning on those outside tyres too much, so the grip of the car is normally still there. coming over the crest, keep it as far to the left as you can, and you'll notice where the part of this compression is, the most bottom bit, I'd say, the lowest point of this corner, round about here, is where you want to be turning. So as soon as you start turning, you lift off that throttle, carry it all the way through to the apex, and as soon as you feel the car start to bite, so you get back on the full throttle, run it all the way out wide, and you really don't want to be hitting this inside curb. If you hit this inside curb, you'll definitely be somewhere off on the grass on the left hand side here, and when you go far off on the grass here, there is usually no saving it. And that is a lap around Lime Rock Park.